Cashback. CapitalOTB.com. Log on today.
Welcome back to Racing Across America on this Wednesday morning. We're kicking off Travers Week, and we're happy to have one of New York's leading owners joining us to wind up this version of the show, Michael Dubb. Good morning, Michael.
Thank you.
And happy to have you on. We'll talk certainly a little bit about you as an owner. You've been the leading owner in New York a couple of times, 2010, 2012. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we also want to touch on chairman of the Belmont Child Care Association. Give us a little background on the Belmont Child Care Association.
Well, we started close to 15 years ago, and it was really a conversation between Jerry Bailey and myself. He explained to me that children were sleeping unattended in their cars. They didn't have proper care. The people who took care of the horses come into work at 5:30 in the morning, and they needed a place. And out of that, an idea was born, and there were other willing participants in the backside, and we found an acre of land at Belmont, and I donated and built the Belmont Child Care building, which is 7,500 feet. We've since added on 1,500 feet. We're full every day with children from 6 weeks to kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and we now have 9,000 feet, and it works beautifully. These kids come in, and they learn how to speak English, they learn how to play chess, they learn computer skills, they're nurtured, loved, and they graduate ahead of the curve, ready for kindergarten and ready to assimilate into the school system. And it's just a great environment, and my greatest thrill on the track has been the daycare center.
Yeah, and congratulations to you and all the folks involved with it, because it certainly is a great organization and does a great service for the racetrack backstretch people, providing care and education for their kids. There's a Belmont Child Care Association website that has a lot of pictures, and you can see some of the events they have. The Christmas time event is very good, where the kids can go in and get presents for siblings and whatnot.
We do Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, Halloween events for the kids of the backside. It's not uncommon to have 300 or 400 kids celebrating these holidays, getting holiday gifts, getting the holiday spirit, and it lifts everybody's spirit. Tonight is our annual gala at the Gideon Putnam Hotel at 7 o'clock, and Wayne Lucas is our MC, and it's a fantastic event. It's always well attended, and if anybody's interested, go to our website and there'll be information on it.
Yeah, and I understand there's a few tickets left, and I have a phone number actually as well, 516-527-4746. I'll repeat that in a minute, but just tell us a little bit about the event. This year it's called the Wild West Saloon. I attended last year. I can guarantee it's a lot of fun, but it's also kind of the answer to some of the big balls. You're a little more casual and it's a little more fun.
Well, kind of what you see is what you get. You wear jeans, you wear a shirt, you don't have to tuck it in. By this time of year, there are so many good causes up here in Saratoga, and so many to follow, that everybody is kind of tired of putting on the jacket and tie, and even the black tie. And here, we start fairly early, we're done fairly early, and you wear jeans. And very casual, very warm, and always one of the great events at Saratoga.
And it's held at the Gideon Putnam again tonight at 6:30. And again, if you have a pencil ready, I'll give you a phone number. So there are some tickets left. 516-527-4746, or you can go to the Belmont Child Care Association website, find out more information. All right, Michael, let's get into the racing side of things. And according to the NYRA Media Guide, you can tell me if this is true, they said through your involvement building Anna House, that's how you became a horse owner.
Well, I had been a race fan since I was 17 years old, and I'd always been interested. And then when I built the daycare center site, I started meeting trainers and jockeys, and I said, let me give this a whirl. And one thing led to another, and here I am.
One thing led to another, and in 2010, 2012, you're the leading owner.
That's correct. Yes.
That's pretty good. So, and now let's talk about some nice horses, because certainly you have some coming up we want to touch on, and you've had plenty over the years. But I want to bring up My Happy Face, who ran second in the Coaching Club American Oaks at 1 1/8 behind what looks like the Eclipse winner in the 3-year-old division, Princess of Silmar. So the second place finish at 1 1/8 was very good. But coming back at the test this weekend, and based on that, I went back to last year and brought up the August 31st race from My Happy Face. This was her second career start. She had debuted up here at Saratoga and ran second. We're going to see the stretch run. She comes back in this first race on August 31st and I think this was the biggest winning margin of the meet last year. Wins by over 21 lengths at 1-5. I think you knew you had something special on your hands then. But tell us about this coming weekend with the cutback from 1 1/8 miles to 7 furlongs.
Well, she hadn't barely crossed the finish line in the coaching club, and I turned to Chad and I said, what do you think about cutting her back in the test? Now, we believe, and we still believe now that she'll go long. However, the coaching club was her first time around 2 turns, and we had the quandary of stretching her out another 1/8 against Princess of Solomar or attempting to cut her back. We knew the 7 furlongs would be no issue. We feel it's a stamina race. The first time Ramon rode that horse, or I should say on the 31st when he got off, Ramon said to me, this filly will go long, no problem. But the test was here. It's a grade 1. It seems well within her scope, and I think we have the classiest horse in the race.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I always am interested in the cutback. That is a nice handicapping angle for me, and as we saw, certainly she doesn't mind sprinting there. I think it could count to about 5 between the time she crossed the finish line and the time the next horse came into the picture there. Very impressive last year from her. So I think she's going to be interesting on Saturday in the test. I wanted to mention another horse of yours. Won the first graded stakes of the meet. We're going to watch Sage Valley winning the James Marvin. Number 4, Sage Valley gets it done at 3-1 back on July 19th. Again, this was the first graded stakes race of the meet. Sage Valley, kind of interesting because this horse had broken the maiden down at Charlestown in January 2012, subsequently shows up for a 50 tag at Aqueduct. You claimed this horse off of the Charlestown win. Now this horse has the nice win in the James Marvin. Tell us a little bit about the claim and what's going forward for Sage Valley.
Well, I can tell you as a guy who's claimed a lot of horses and claimed a lot of horses who have won stakes races, when you're in a shake with 10 people, you kind of sometimes don't want to win those shakes. You see what everybody else sees. Here, we did our homework. We looked into the breeding. We were very high on Discreet Cat. And when I spoke to Rudy about this, I said, if she looks the physical part, we're going to take a chance on this horse. And I thought they were perhaps trying to preserve a condition, thinking nobody would claim her. And obviously we did. We were the only one in on her, him. And he's quite a horse.
Yeah,
he was carrying top weight in the James Marvin.
Yeah, that was certainly a very good decision. And again, it was off of a maiden race at Charlestown. So as a claiming guy, or a guy who plays the claiming game, are you searching around the country on a daily basis for horses like this? Or was it when the horse showed up in New York that you went back and kind of looked at things? Or?
No, it was when the horse showed up. I don't have a big enough organization. I don't have racing managers and breeding consultants and things like that. I'm kind of what you see is what you get.
And we talked a little about, speaking of that, before you came on with us. We were talking during the commercial break. You thought you had kind of a unique owner's record up here at Saratoga this season.
Well, the last 2 years I battled Mike Rapoli right to the closing weekend for leading owner at Saratoga, and each time he beat me by 1 win. And actually, 2 years ago was interesting. We tied closing day, and he had the favorite in the next race. We had a rainstorm. They ran the race. He won. I had the favorite the race after, and they canceled the race and never ran the race. So anyway, this year, unfortunately, my horses are running well. I have 4 wins in 12 seconds. And I'm fine with that as long as the horses run well. But what it really points out is I used to have Ramon Dominguez ride for me pretty much first call. And I am very confident, and this is not to knock our current jockeys, they're terrific, but out of those 12 seconds, I'm quite confident 4 or 5 of those would have been wins had Ramon been on my horse like he had been previous years.
Yeah, and Ramon just a class guy, too.
You know, you really don't know what you have till it's gone, and we miss Ramon so much. Not only for his riding abilities, but for his character and the beautiful person that he is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been the sentiment expressed by people all month long, and before that even. And I'll just go back to your 4 wins in 12 seconds. As a handicapper, I can sympathize with that because I've had a similar month as well. But certainly wish you luck going forward in that vein. Want to talk now, you are on the New York Racing Association Board of Directors. Obviously, the last couple of years have been in a little bit of tumult. Christopher Kay has now stepped in as the leader of the New York Racing Association. We're in the midst of the Saratoga meet. Just some thoughts now on, maybe the last couple of months and into Saratoga with Christopher Kay being appointed. Your thoughts of where we are with the New York Racing Association?
Well, Chris Kay is a wonderful, wonderful person, and I've been hard-pressed to find anybody who would have anything negative to say upon meeting him. He's a real quick study. He's learning. We have a mission, and I co-chair the long-term planning committee with Bobby Flay. And our mission is really to make racing great again. It's always great at Saratoga, but we want to make it great. And what that means in terms of long-term planning, it may mean eventually closing Aqueduct and having a year-round facility constructed at Belmont. We don't know what these things mean, but we're focused on it. And really, we have to keep the racing product top-notch. We have to create a destination for people to come to year-round where they're happy, where they're comfortable. We have to have a facility and facilities that run efficiently and we can manage. And we have to take care of the people who take care of our show, meaning the horses and the people who work on the backstretch. And, I've had these conversations with Chris. He's focused very, very strongly on that, and I believe that'll be his main focus here at NYRA.
Well, you mentioned it, the possibility of closing down Aqueduct and going year-round to Belmont, which I assume would constitute putting in some kind of winter surface over at Belmont. Obviously, that would be a big decision. What would go into that decision?
Well, what we will do is we're going to study all the different alternatives. If we will have consultants who will tell us what to expect, what types of crowd to expect, what to do with our racing, and whether or not to rehabilitate the existing grandstand at Belmont, whether or not demolish it, build a grandstand in a different location that will be easier to have winter racing on. But whatever we do, there's one thing I can tell you, the facility we wind up with will be second to none in this country.
All right, very good. And Michael, before we let you go, I don't want to embarrass you, but I do want to tip my cap to you because, of course, Hurricane Sandy affected a lot of people downstate last year. There was a great article in the newspaper where you jumped in as a builder, and that is your profession, and helped out an elderly man. It was a touching article. And also one of your developments was one that withstood Sandy. So hats off to you for that, in that you're kind of already looking with a development on a shore like that. You're looking ahead to what potentially could happen.
We are still actually just beginning the second and third phases of Sandy reconstruction, and we will, in the next year, rehabilitate or build several thousand new houses for people who were victims of Sandy. And I didn't know when I got into it whether or not it would be profitable. I still don't know, but I just felt it's the right thing to do. I have the infrastructure down there in the Rockaways and want to do it for everybody.
Yeah, hats off to you. As I say, I don't want to embarrass you, but I think it's worth noting before the public that you stepped up when stepping up was needed. And certainly you've done a great job. Belmont Child Care Association, again, that Wild West Saloon party is tonight at the Gideon Putnam at 6:30. 516-527-4746. There's a few tickets remaining. Also, NYRA board member. We appreciate your work there, and we wish you good luck going forward on the weekend with my happy face in the test, and going forward for the rest of the meet as well.
Thank you. It's an honor to have been here.
Mike, thanks a lot. All right, we're going to wrap things up for Racing Across America for this Wednesday morning as we kick off Travers Week here at Saratoga. It looks like the weather's going to be great. The racing is going to be great. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow again for more Racing Across America.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.